made me careless. Not stupid. I want to be careful about that word, because I think women are too quick to call themselves stupid when they were simply human. I was not stupid. I was depleted and hopeful. And for the first time in years, something in my life felt like it was going right. And so I let myself want it. I protected it. I chose, deliberately, not to question it too closely. There were signs I didn't follow. He knew things about my ex-husband's business dealings, about the land dispute that was still technically in a grey area legally, about my ex's family dynamics, information that had never been public. I told myself I must have mentioned these things in passing and forgotten. I told myself he was just perceptive, good at connecting dots. I told myself a lot of things. There was a coldness I felt sometimes. Not in him, exactly, but around certain conversations. Like when I would talk about my legal situation, there was an attention in his eyes that was slightly different from his usual warmth. More focused, more precise. I noticed it, and then I immediately decided I had imagined it, because the alternative was a door I did not want to open. I think we do that sometimes. We feel the draft from the open window, and we pull our sweater tighter, and we tell ourselves it's just the weather. Because the truth is, some part of me knew, not clearly, not in words, but somewhere underneath the happiness, something was keeping count. I found out by accident. 4 months into whatever we were, and we had never put a name to it. He had never pushed for that either, which I had found endearing. I was at his flat for the first time. He had invited me for dinner. I arrived early. He offered me a drink and went to shower. And I sat on his sofa in his living space, genuinely content. Looking around at his bookshelves, his small plants on the windowsill, the ordinary evidence of a life, and feeling something I had almost forgotten how to feel. His laptop was open on the coffee table. I was not looking for anything. I was not even thinking about anything other than the particular quiet happiness of being in someone's space and feeling welcome. Then I saw my name on the screen. My full name, in an email thread visible in his browser. My married name, which I no longer used. I don't know why I moved closer. I have asked myself this many times. I think the part of me that had been quietly keeping count finally stepped forward and said, "Look." So I looked. The email was from my ex-husband's personal address, an address I recognized because I had spent years corresponding with it about everything from household bills to, eventually, lawyers. It was a payment confirmation. The subject line read, "Second installment, per our arrangement." I opened the thread. I read every message, going back 5 months. 1 month before I had ever met him at that networking event. My ex-husband had hired him, deliberately and specifically. The original message laid out the brief with a clarity that still makes me nauseous when I think about it. Get close to me, earn my trust, identify whether I was holding any financial documentation that could be used in a potential appeal of the divorce settlement, monitor who I was communicating with professionally and personally, and gather anything that could be used to support a characterization of me as emotionally unstable or romantically reckless in relation to a custody clause we still had pending over the land. He had attended that networking event specifically because he had been told I would be there. Every conversation we had was information. Every vulnerable thing I shared about the marriage was documentation. Every time I cried, every time I said I was finally starting to feel better, every boundary I dropped because I trusted him, it was all being noted and reported back. The walks along the marina, the rice and stew, the held hands across the table, all of it had a purpose I had not known. I was sitting on his sofa reading this when he came out of the shower. He saw my face, and he went completely still. That stillness, the stillness of someone who has been caught and knows immediately that denial is pointless, is something I will carry with me for the rest of my life. Because even in that moment, even as my entire chest was caving in, I noticed how he looked at me, and there was something in it that did not look like a man looking at a target. He did not deny it. I will say that. He sat down across from me, and he said, "I need you to let me explain." And this is the part I have told no one. I stayed. I sat on that sofa, and I listened for almost an hour. I sat in the flat of a man who had been paid to walk into my life and dismantle it, and I listened while he told me that somewhere in the middle of it, something had changed for him, that it had stopped being a job, that he had not planned to feel anything, and then he did. And he didn't know what to do with that. And he had told himself he could manage it, could keep the two things separate, but couldn't. That what had existed between us, from his side, at least by the end, was real. He was crying by then. I don't know if I believe him. I genuinely do not know. And I have thought about it so many times that the question has become a kind of prison I can't find the door to. I left that night without saying very much. I picked up my bag. I walked out. I drove home, and I sat in my car outside my building for a long time. I should have called my lawyer immediately. I should have secured my devices, changed my communications, gotten ahead of whatever he had already passed back. That is what a rational, self-protective woman does in that situation. I knew that. Instead, I went upstairs and I cried for 3 days. Not because of the threat, though the threat was real and I dealt with it. I promise I dealt with it. But because of the loss, because the man I had known, or believed I had known, had been the first person in years to make me feel genuinely safe, to make me feel like the version of myself that existed before the marriage, before I learned to make myself small, was still somewhere inside me, still worth something. And I had to grieve that person, that version of him, while simultaneously understanding that he had never fully existed, that the safety had been constructed, that I had fallen in love with a role someone had agreed to play for money. And the cruelest part is that you cannot grieve and be rational at the same time. You cannot simultaneously protect yourself legally and sit with the feeling of having been loved. You have to choose which emergency to attend to first. I chose the legal one. I moved quickly. I moved quietly. And I protected what needed protecting. My lawyer was thorough. My ex-husband did not get what he was looking for. But the other thing, the grief, the love, the anger, the shame, the confusion that I have been carrying alone, in the dark, at 2 in the morning, because I do not know how to explain